G'day and welcome to Club Prairie Fire, the home of tequila, Tabasco and the Baz-bollocking system. That's right, folks. As far as we Aussies can tell, that wily old fox Jim Maxwell was 100% correct. Baz-bollocks was in full swing in India, and it was a thing of beauty. A 434-run victory for an Indian side missing arguably its three best cricketers. Now, don't worry, we will be getting into this one very, very deep today. But before we do, we also need to mention what else is on the Club Prairie Fire menu today. There's a history-making win for New Zealand over South Africa. A really big one there. No asterisks is needed. All guns blazing. An absolute shellacking by the Aussie women over in against South Africa over there in Perth. Amazing for the Aussie women there, and a day out for the Sutherland siblings, and an unfortunate record for everyone's favourite husband and wife cricketing combo. We will get into all of that. Now, hey, let's bring in our the other three wonderful people that star on this podcast. Welcoming the captain of the cold plunge, it's Michael Vaughan. The master of the midday tequila, it's Adam Gilchrist. And the doyen of the dating apps, it's Ollie Silverton. Welcome, gents.
G'day all. How are you?
G'day.
Morning. It's 6:30 a.m. in the UK. It's a bit dark. It's wet. But it's been a great week. It's been one of the great weeks of English cricket, so can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah.
Do you think the sun will rise today there, Vaughany, or do you think it'll just stay hidden away in England?
Absolutely. It's all positive in the UK. England have got India exactly where they want them.
I think that's the beauty of it. Yeah, g'day all. And Vaughany, you might notice I took a little ice bath for a test run in the backyard this morning.
Yeah, I saw that. You've got the plastic system, haven't you? You've got those little blow up one.
Yeah,
I think Ollie's got a blow up one, but it's not an ice bath.
He's big in the plastics, but that's for another podcast. But it didn't quite retain the coolness that I might have liked. Yeah, hovered up around sort of 8-9 degrees. Couldn't get it down to that 5 that we like and get the benefit from. But no, you're right, Vaughn. It is good to watch a team that plans so well and is prepared to go about it in stealth-like manner and not let anyone know, one, what they're up to, or certainly talk about it in public, and to see it all come to fruition and just teeing it up. They, as you say, they literally got them in the squirrel grip, haven't they? And they won't let go. England won't let go now. They've got India by the balls.
Yeah, I mean, it was close. It was only 434, and when you add into that, obviously they had no luck with the reviews, and DRS is cheating, and it's obviously been completely fixed that every time it hits England's pads, it hits the top of leg stump. If you take obviously the cheating of the DRS, just a bit of tongue in cheek, India, don't worry. I think England would have won that. I think England would have won that Test match.
Yeah.
Do you think Zach Crawley had 434 runs in him?
Well, he wouldn't have got 434. He'd probably got 290.
Yeah.
And someone like Tommy Hartley would have got 85, and that would have been England over the line.
No, you did right. Hey, we're going to get real deep into the Baz-bollocking, but let's just, do you want to run us some socials and sponsor updates real quick before we really interrogate Vaughany?
I do. We'll quickly get through them. At Club Prairie Fire, obviously on all socials. Maybe a bit of Vaughan's never said I'm just tongue in cheek there to the Indian fans, but because maybe he's copped a bit over the last week, saying, there were a few little bits. Stokes was the greatest, got some love. People have gone back to the Hodgie episode where Hodgie laughed at us, England, being the best team, and Vaughany correcting Hodgie. That got some love. Gilly got a lot of love. He said, if Gilly says Folks is the best, then Folks is the best. That was about 25 comments saying Gilly knows what he's talking about there. But there were a couple DMs which stood out, which you guys wouldn't have seen. Now, my favourite, and this guy, he messages us maybe too much, but it's very kind. His name's Aditya. It's godfather.edits. He makes reels of players, and he's done an amazing reel of Gilly's highlights, and he says, I hope you guys can show him this. I love him. That's why I'm making it new Gilly tribute. I replied, do you have a Michael Vaughan reel? He says, yes, absolutely. Sadly, it's mainly Marcus Gothic and Andrew Strauss, and it's called the English Trio, but Vaughany does feature at the top of it. So I will send that to you, but that was great. And the last one was from Arun, who messaged yesterday saying, can I have your logo? And I said, absolutely, but tell me why first. He said, I represent Cluj Cricket Club in Romania. We love the show so much. It's going to be our team logo. We're going to wear it around Europe in the comp. And it's where Pavel Florin, the famous European cricket league legend, played from. So we now seem to sponsor a team in Romania.
Excellent.
Wait a minute, Ollie. So this logo here is going to be their team badge.
Yeah, or on the other side of
right?
the chest. On the other side, I believe. But he said, yeah, we can't get sponsors, but we're getting CPF to every corner of the world we travel with the Cluj Cricket Club.
This is good.
Oh, this is breaking news for the pod. I think this is where we go. This is the proper kickstart. This is SpaceX. This.
Yeah. Well, this is everything that you elaborated on last week, Vaughany, where remember I gave my mate's little coffee business a plug, and we decided that rather than us inherit sponsors or take any on board, let's start promoting everyone else. So let's say indeed maybe start sponsoring other people, a la Cluj Cricket Club. Let's give it a roll of the dice and see where we can get to.
Why don't we be the only podcast in the world that actually we lose money because we have to pay for everything?
Well, that's where we're currently at.
I think the idea in podcasts is for the people on the podcast to earn a crust.
Right.
Well, let's break the mold. We already have.
Here's the good news for all of us and for this Romanian cricket team. The licensing fee for our logo is only $25,000. So as soon as they cough that up, then I'm sure we'll give them the logo, and then they can. Should get us to Brian Lara's party. I've done all the maths. We just need 25 large US.
What's the currency of Romania?
Oh, is it the drachma?
Yeah, I think it's something like the drachma.
How many drachmas? 25 US.
Yeah,
I know it's the Leu. Leu, Leu, and it's subdivided into 100 bannings. Yeah, okay. Right. It's exactly one. Fine, 3-1 the ratio.
Ollie, can you do some research? What about? Do you think we'll go down well on a tour of Romania?
I think we will.
What are the big towns in Romania that we could go and
Bucharest?
Go on tour. Bucharest, good place.
I think we could go to. Isn't Transylvania? Is that Romania?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure that's where. Isn't that where Dracula lives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you check that off?
Yeah. Timisoara as well. Transylvania. Yep. This is a good tour.
This is getting all right. Your legs.
What kind of temperature? What's the best time to go? I mean, I don't want it to be too cold. Do they get the sunshine in Romania?
Oh, definitely. In spring, the thermometer rises to 10 Celsius. It reaches 26 in July and August. However, people say the best time is May and September. It looks, and it's very affordable, which is good. So yeah, there you go.
I think you can go skiing in Romania, can't you? There's some ski slopes.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe go skiing.
Well, we can definitely jump into some cold lakes for you, Vaughany. I reckon they'll be down around the -10 for you.
You could do some skiing over there, Ollie, if you know what I mean.
Ollie, on that front, have you got a little update for the boys? You gave me a little bit of news today. There's a little something happening tonight.
I thought that was going to be the end of the show. I don't know why
I jumped ahead.
I normally keep it secret, but it seems like I feel like I need your approval. I've got my first date, I'm going to say, in 7 months after this tonight. Genuine date.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Right.
This is good. Look at Gilly's face, how surprised he is.
I know. I have. And I'll give you some more context for it because you're going to ask. Name's Mad. I have asked her for approval for this. She listened to the episode last week to get context. Her name's Maddie. Mad's from Ads. She's from Adelaide. She's a member at the Adelaide Oval, likes cricket. And so that gets a sign off from Prof. She likes cricket. She knew what a Prairie Fire was, but had said, we're doing it wrong. You're meant to have a pineapple wedge afterwards, which she did on a recent holiday in South Africa. And she has an ice bath or goes every day. So, I mean...
Oh, my goodness me.
She's good. Ollie, just to clarify, have you met her yet? Because I'm seeing on Instagram in particular that there are quite a lot of accounts these days that are AI.
Yeah, she might be a bot.
Oh, she's a human being.
Oh, you got to, and we've done this before. You got to get her to pick out the traffic lights.
Yeah, Okay, I will do that. Yeah.
If she can't, when you're walking with her, if she can't see the traffic lights.
All right.
Well,
Well, they're going to tick every box on the screen
That's
that's got a car in it, or
That's right, or a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a
Might be a
mutual
bot.
friend, so I have done some digging. I think she's real, but I think she might be using me because she messaged just saying, "How many dates do I have to go on with you to get a hat?" So I'm going to throw that to you. Genuinely, she asked that. So what's the number?
wow.
No, I don't think it's the dates. It's kind of the bases that you get to. We've got to decide
exactly,
upon the
yes,
base.
right. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I can't wait to let you know how it goes next Wednesday.
What's your approach going to be, Al? What first date? What happens these days on a first date?
I tried to go to book a trivia night because, as you know, I love my quiz and trivia, but it was booked out Wednesday at the Foresters. So we're actually, she's booked drinks, maybe dinner if it goes well, if I survive more than half an hour, just at the local, actually. So I think, again, she wants us to meet Barry Manilow because she's heard about him, or her.
What's your trivia team name when there's just the two of you? Have you got something special?
No,
Like
no,
Trivia Newton-John or...
Yeah.
What do you...
No, I haven't actually thought of that yet. We'll have to combine Maddie and Ollie. There's a few classics that are rolled out, but I like something more original. Quizlamic extremists, all the usual ones. But yeah, we'll come up with something.
Just call it. I think. Oh, you should try and steam into that quiz and get a team. And just on the back of the week, I think you should call your team Jizzball.
Quiz ball, jizz ball. Fine. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, just guys, sorry to change direction again. Just backtracking, circling around. I just had a look. Cluj Cricket Club. I think their last game, they knocked over the might of Warsaw Cricket Club.
So against Poland.
17 over match. Unfortunately, our man Pavel Florin knocked over second seed by Farhad Shakil. That good Romanian name.
Yeah.
But they got up for the win, so they're a bunch of winners. So I think we should go.
Did Aaron
Gilly,
Kumar
just
get any
from the
runs?
scorecard, Gil?
Sorry.
Go on, Ollie.
Did our man Arun Kumar get any runs for Cluj that game? That's the one who's been in touch and wants the logo.
Arun Kumar.
He's the captain.
He did not bat, but he is captain. He's got the asterisks. Let's see whether he. And he did not bowl, so he's obviously a very good captain.
Yeah, he's a good player.
We might nickname him Mike Brearley. Let's go with that. But,
Breers. Gilly, can you tell from the scorecard that the kind of cricket that this team plays? Because obviously we don't want to be backing a team that plays dull, boring cricket. We need a Baz-Ball equivalent in Romania.
Well, mate, 17 over match. I'm not sure whether that was due to wet weather or late night the night before or whatever it was. But our boys, the Cluj, the Triple Cs, they went at 10.9. They batted. That was their run rate. So they scored 186 off 17. And the might of Warsaw fell 16 runs short. So it's entertainment plus, Vaughany.
That sounds like Jazzwall ball. That's what that sounds like. The real deal.
What's the skipper called?
Aaron.
What's he called again?
Aaron Kumar.
Yeah. And so they were 5. So he was down to bat at 8 and didn't get a hit and then didn't bowl. So, but he's clearly a strong tactician.
Aaron, we could call it Arseball. Aaron Arseball.
Yeah, love it.
Arseball.
Now, gentlemen, we have broken, I think there's another record for not talking international cricket. We're up to 14 minutes and 18 seconds. But let's get into this. You were talking socials. Vaughany, I really enjoyed you during the week on Twitter. It's always a delight. And I put a little something on social because I brought a little tear to my eye because I finally realised that you are becoming an Aussie, mate. And it was that wonderful tweet you sent to Piers Morgan when it's obviously dawned on you that he is a flog. And, I'll get you in a Cobra. We'll get you a dry as a bone. Welcome to the family. Piers tweeted, England cricket fans who turn on players like Root whenever they get out to an aggressive shot need to give their traditional old wizened heads a massive wobble. Baz-Ball is brilliant, good, bad, whatsoever. You wrote, utter rubbish, Piers. The skipper doesn't Baz-Ball. He plays the situation. Joe is far too good to gift India such a cheap wicket 20 minutes into a crucial day when they are down to 10 players. Sport is about changing styles at the right time. Vaughany, everything you've been saying for the last 2 or 3 weeks has been absolutely bang on. Did you hear back from Piers?
Well, yeah, on the last night, actually, I was out in the village with a mate, and he said, "Oh God, you riled Piers." I said, "Oh, I actually haven't seen anything since." Oh no, he quote tweeted you back about an article or a comment I made about Joe playing that shot last summer and how great he is and how good he is at playing it. And I was like, well, yeah, that's okay to send it back, but let's be honest. I mean, when you're up on top in a game, you can do what the fuck you want. When you're 226 behind on day 3 in India, I guess you can. I think it was Merv Hughes, wasn't it, back in the day? Sometimes you get a good one, and Joe did get a good one. He just top of off stump, and he snicked it to second slip. I mean, it happens in the game, doesn't it? But I guess I guess the way Piers, I love his social media content because he's always active, isn't he? Now, I always look at his Arsenal comments. Every time Arsenal lose a game, Arteta gone.
Yeah.
I think he's emotionally invested in cricket more so than he is in his Arsenal football team. But I was right. End of.
Also, with that, what Rohit did very cleverly is he shows he's not scared to play the shot to anyone. India have panicked. They're now they're saying resting, but it looks like they may have dropped Bumrah. So it's actually very clever from Rohit to go down to come back to 3-2.
Very, very, very good point, Ollie. That's well picked out. I mean, it's clearly frightened Bumrah, and that's why he won't be going to Ranchi. So maybe this is the tactic. This is the tactic of England. I mean, 2-1 down with 2 to play, so they've got India exactly where they want them. It's exactly what happened in the Ashes last year. This England team is all about entertainment, and it's all about making sure that everyone's watching this new style of cricket. And it's all a tactic, and they knew that if they got beat just only by a small margin of 434, they would have India exactly in the panic stations that they've gone to, and they decided to drop Bumrah.
Yeah. Look, talk amongst yourselves. I need to plug my computer in; it's about to conk out. But let's discuss. I'll be able to hear you, and I'll be listening with interest.
Well,
sorry, Prof.
Sorry, you're about to bring up what Vaughany sent through to the group this week, a little comment from Ben Stokes. Is that where you were going?
Yeah. There's that and much more to, as they say, unpack about that close loss to England. But you roll with what you want to go with, and I'll keep listening and I'll plug my computer in.
Let's have a little
There's
listen.
every chance, because we're chatting England cricket, that Gilly's not coming back, but that's okay. It was a good excuse for him to leave.
Have a little listen
Now,
to Ben Stokes here. You ready?
Yes. So, Vaughany, you pointed out a little something that happened on Test Match Special. Very good podcast this week. I had a little listen to you and the cat. Very informative. And you picked up on a little something that Stokesy said. The question to him, Vaughany, correct me if I'm wrong, was you're 2-1 down in the series, 2 to play. You can still win this thing. And then have you got it there, Ollie, what Stokesy said?
Yeah, here we go.
Just finally, you're 2-1 down. There's 2 test matches to play. You can still win this series.
Yeah, 3-2. Sounds good. A bit like the Ashes.
Cheers, Ben.
Thanks, mate.
Does Stokesy not know what the score was in the end?
So the moral victory was just only a 1 test victory. We're like 3-2, not like a 5-0. I assumed it was 5-0.
No, it was 3-2.
It was 3-2, right?
Is that what is in the history books now in England?
Yeah, I mean, the rules would change that if you're absolutely hammering a team. Now, you guys in Australia have obviously not been told this, but if you're hammering a team and it gets rained off, the team that are doing the hammering win that test match. So Manchester now is a victory,
right?
And England have won 3-2.
Yeah.
And they're on the verge of winning.
Have you not been told down under yet?
I tell you, someone who hasn't been told, that's the person putting together the World Test Championship ladder, because I don't see acknowledgement of those victories for England. I see them parked pretty much down in the cellar. But they'll fight back.
Should we a few other little interesting things post match? Well, sort of post match. I enjoyed Duckett end of day 3 saying, we'll get him. It's only, what was it, only 500 odd? We'll get him. Come on, it's Baz-Ball.
Well, his comment, Prof, was actually how many's possible to chase, and his response was, "The more, the merrier."
And then went out and got 4. So he obviously expected someone else to get him, or what was happening there?
Well, I think interestingly, Australia obviously they're just in the realms of a game against New Zealand, I see, and Australia are in the field, and New Zealand 96 for 1 after 9.5. So maybe Mitchell Marsh is going for that kind of theory that he wants New Zealand to get as many, the more the merrier. Maybe it's catching on.
It could be. It could be. They could get a big one, those Kiwis. Nice to see history runs deep in the mindset of the Bazzballers as well. That they are the first ones to be aggressive. I mean, Ben Duckett.
You'd say that's correct, though, Gilly. I mean, and also what you don't understand, Gilly, is that Ben Duckett, I reckon this next week or so, probably the day before the Ranchi test, I think he's going to do a presser, and I think he's going to take credit for the way that you played as well.
And Clive Lloyd in 1974.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't even born then, but he's going to take credit for it.
There's someone.
Hey, go on.
There is someone Gilly sent through who took a bit of grievance with it. Michael Clark, who's over here, Vaughany. Yeah. Like he speaks a lot of sense a lot of the time, never in trouble, so he's got it bang on. And he said he must have missed Australia for 20 years. Has he heard of Matthew Hayden, Michael Slater, Ricky Ponting, Damien Martin? Thought he was going to forget Adam Gilchrist, but there he is, and Adam Gilchrist. England is not the first team to play aggressive or bat positively. Clarkie's now having a go at our Ben Duckett.
I wouldn't mess with Clarkie. I saw some CCTV footage that tells me.
Hey, come on, Prof. We don't want Clarkie with his top off.
and a torn string.
Yeah. Well, hey, you put up that picture about the most aggressive hundreds in the history of touring players in India, and I believe it was one A. Gilchrist that has the fastest. Is that right? 84 balls.
Yeah, I saw that on the Instagram and on social media. I saw it because I put it up there. I posted it. I thought it should be no. I didn't. I did gather that from someone who thought it be appropriate that Ben realises it was a fine innings. He played a wonderful 88 ball 100 in Indian conditions, which was the third fastest ever against India in India. Astounding. 1974. Geez, talk about being before your time. The big super cat, Clive Lloyd, off what was it, 82 balls or something, or 84?
85.
85.
85. But I think because Clive Lloyd played for Lancashire in the county championship game, that's where he obviously learned how to play that style. You obviously spent a bit of time here in the 90s playing for Australian under-19s, Gilly.
Yep.
So you learned all your skills and your mentality in England. It's nothing to do with, Sydney or Western Australia, wherever you played all your junior cricket. But, you've got to, now's probably the time to thank England for giving you that mentality and that skill set.
I'll tell you what England gave me. You're right about opportunity that young Aussies getting people from all around the world go playing cricket in England. I went there as a 17-year-old on a cricket scholarship. It was my HSC year, my year 12 year, so I had to do that by correspondence, living in the attic of an alcoholic club president.
There you go.
Stairs like in Mork and Mindy, where you pull down and go up into the roof. But
was the chair? Was he a Southerton as well, or
was he a what, sir?
A Southerton? Was he a member of the Ollie family, or when you said alcoholic, I just thought it might be. Kind of
distant relative.
No, what I tell you, what England gave me that year was 15 extra kilograms from the doner kebabs I was eating on the way home from the club when I was hammered, and at the age of 17, and a mullet, because Mark Waugh was proing for Essex, and all I wanted was a mullet like Junior. So that's what England provided me for my cricketing development, and it actually held me in good stead, I reckon.
There you go.
Ollie and Vaughany, do you know about the Heathrow injection? Have you heard that term before?
No.
So it's an Australian term. So a lot of people go and do, a gap year, gap 6 months in England. And when they return, everybody says they've had the Heathrow injection, which generally speaking, as Gilly said, is about 15 kilos.
It's like the freshest fire.
So without
happened to me. I think I was up around the 15 to 20 kilo. I got the Heathrow bad.
So Gilly, without that trip when you were 17, you wouldn't have been the player that you became. Is that correct?
That is correct. I'm actually going to dance with seriousness for a moment here, Vaughany and gents. That was without doubt the most important year of development in my life, both on and off the field. Independence, living on the other side of the world, learning how to cook and get yourself from A to B, public transport, all that stuff.
Cook and...
how to find your way to the bottom of a pint when you're underage. But then cricket-wise, it was next level. Played in a very decent cricket league against a lot of ex-first-class players, ex-internationals. Dilip Doshi came across him in a Saturday afternoon league match, that type of player. But, yeah, the cricketing experience was phenomenal and helped set me up for a great deal. So I'd have to agree with you, Vaughany, actually, in all seriousness there.
Can you just clip that up, Ollie, that Adam Gilchrist has just credited England with his career?
That will be the caption. And also, it's worth noting, Clive Lloyd, he did play in Scarborough. I know you just want me to check in that. 1976, it was a Thursday, 26th of August, ODI game. Bowled by Derek Underwood for 20. Did hit a 6, but it actually took him 27 balls. So sorry, not a great Clive Lloyd.
Yeah, on with it.
Will you, hey, Ollie, tonight on your date, will you start talking about all the greats that have made tons at Scarborough? Is that one of your topics you'll bring up with this young lady?
Yeah. Well, Viv Richards that day was 119 not out and got the chase done. So he's one of the greats. I imagine.
Just to put her in the mood.
I just had a thought. I mean, next week, if you're sitting on screen, Ollie, not wearing a cap, we can assume the date went well.
Oh, that's a very
maybe I just make Wednesday to try date night. Next time we will get into the trivia and go from there. But I know 7
You should just bring them on the pod. Just
I offered. I genuinely offered. It was no. It was a no.
Okay, so before we move on from the Baz-bollocking, if you don't mind, Vaughany, I noticed one thing that you said on Test Match Special, which you said England need to be careful not to sound smug, which was a lot of the Ben Stokes stuff. Ben, afterwards saying they don't regret any decisions they made in the game, that sort of stuff. So how close to being smug do you think they are? And Gilly, do you think they're sounding smug?
Oh, I think this one way of playing is exciting, but there's no sporting team in the history of sport never been able to change styles slightly. You can have your intentions to be aggressive. That's absolutely fine. You can have your intention to try and whack the ball out of the park. That's your method. But ultimately, in particularly Test match cricket against good teams, if you're not going to have the ability to change your style at certain times that the situation of the game dictates that you shouldn't really be playing that style, I just think they're going to keep getting found out. That's my feeling. I think they're a better team than just playing this swashbuckling style all the time. In the field, actually, when they're out there bowling, and they're doing a lot of it at the minute, they do change the style. They go on the attack at the right time. They go on the defensive when a player gets in. So I'm just saying, can't you take that kind of mentality with the bat in hand? On day 3, when you're 226 behind, and Ashwin, unfortunately, wasn't there on that day. He ended up coming back on day 5. But at the time, England didn't know that Ashwin was going to come back. But they certainly knew that they weren't going to have to face him in the first innings of their match. Pitch was playing fine. I don't think Test match cricket has changed that much to think that in India, you bat as long as you can in the first innings. You certainly don't give your bowlers 71 overs rest and get bowled out cheaply. And you allow India another big lead in the first innings, thinking you can do what you did in the first test in Hyderabad week in, week out. It's just not possible. So I'm just saying to them, yes, have the aggressive mentality, but when it's not possible, or when the situation dictates that you've just got to go down in the gears, to just stay in the game. Stay in the game. In India, it's about staying in the game. Unfortunately, even the great Aussie side that Gilly played in and magnificently captained by Adam Gilchrist in that first test, I think it was Gilly back in 2004. Is that correct? 2004?
Yeah.
The Aussie side, who with the West Indies and probably the Invincibles back in the day, are the three teams that everyone talks about have been the great teams of any era. Now, the Aussie team back then, who did like to have a bit of a pop and play aggressively, went down in the gears to just play attritionally in India to win a series. I think the Bazzballers can take a little bit of a leaf out of that book.
Yeah. Spot on, Vaughany. I think the guy that, on that 04 tour, we went negative to be offensive, defensive to be offensive. That was a whole change of tactics for us. But the guy that I think that has been able to disrupt, if you like, to an extent, which is what sort of Baz-Ball, I guess, as a philosophy has been, Rishabh Pant out here in Australia a couple of years ago. Within individual innings, he was having 15-minute periods where he was Baz-balling, doing, just absolutely taking the Aussies on. This is in Test cricket, totally almost ambushing them, taken by surprise, get 30 runs in 10 minutes, 12 minutes or something. And then when Australia tried to adjust, he would just adjust and just play a patient game again. And then he'd just attack again at certain times. So he went well and truly up and down the gears. The other thing I think we're just listening to the commentary, particularly earlier on when they started scoring heavily, the Baz-Ball term turned up, was about, we're not really interested in winning, we're more about entertaining. And that's great for us who can sit back and we're impartial observers, but I reckon people are going to start to want them to win soon. And you made the point last week, Vaughany. I want to see the Baz-ballers win something and win something significant. So I think, loss after loss, and I said in jest about being at the bottom of the World Test Championship, that they'll need to get some results soon and find a way to get some results soon. And they may believe that philosophy is the only way they can play, but they're going to need to start winning soon, because people get sick and tired of losing and results start to get affected, individuals get affected. And, if a great player like Joe Root sees a decline come down by way of example, it's going to be a bit of a challenge for him.
Gilly, I'll just bring you to, it's almost as if the Bazzballers have put a bit of a trance over some of the commentary as well. It's kind of this kind of method. It's a little bit of a cult. And they've got a massive cult following. Even the commentator, Nick Knight came out with a beautiful line in the Indian second innings. India were 496 ahead on day 4. And Nick Knight said, England deserve a lot of credit for this.
They've lost their mind.
It was a wonderful line. Line. So even the commentaries, it's kind of got people thinking and talking of England positively all the time, because it's the way that they play. But ultimately, I don't think sports ever changed. It's about who wins at the end of the series and who lifts the trophy.
Yeah.
With on that, taking credit. You can see why, because Jimmy Anderson's played however many tests, and it's the first time he's ever been hit for 3 sixes in a row. Baz-Ball did that to him, so England have done good stuff there. But I actually have a serious question, which is quite rare, and this is for both of you. At the same time that was going on, there was a belting test match for a long time at Hamilton. And during that, there's another number 4 batsman who I think is one of the greats, who knuckled down and got it done for his side with Kane Williamson. Out of the two of them, end of careers or even now, who are you having? Because their numbers are ridiculously similar. 33 years old, Root's played more tests, similar runs, bit better average for Kane. If you had one of them in your side, who would it be? Because quite contrasting styles, and it shows. And one's obviously led his team to a brilliant
question.
I'll start. I'm still going Joe Root. I just think Joe's, and it's not just that I'm from the same town and the same club and know his family, but I just think with Joe Root and the way that he plays, when he's at his best and he's playing pure, I think he's up there with the best players to watch. And also, he bowls a few tweakers. So I want Joe Root in my team. He's catching well as well, usually. So I am going Joe Root.
Yeah, I'd probably go Steve Smith.
He's an opener.
Of course he is. No, geez. Look, I don't know. I never like to play these hypotheticals. I don't really care too much to compare, even within eras, let alone against eras. But they've both been so successful against all types of bowling too, haven't they? In all conditions, I think they're. I guess. Well, you might be. Root hasn't scored a Ashes 100 in Australia, has he?
Not yet. He will do next time. He'll
get off 40 balls and say up yours, Vaughany.
Has Kane scored a ton here in Australia?
I don't know, Ollie. I'm going to see. I can see you shaking your head there as you tap away on your keyboard. But
I'm just having a look there.
He had a tough tour last time here. I know that.
Yeah.
We're getting parked too much there. Look, I'll just be devil's advocate and take Kane.
200s against Australia.
Can I toss up a player that I would take? It's a young man called
Kane played for Yorkshire as well, just to let you know.
Excellent.
Okay, there you go. Can I toss up a player I would take over everybody?
Yeah.
Sean Von Berg. Young man, young left arm finger spinner out of South Africa. Yeah. 37 years of age.
Debut.
Beautiful to watch. I sat down for 3 hours on Friday afternoon and watched that New Zealand-South African test, and I just wanted... It is Von Berg. Have I got that right, Ol?
Yeah, 0 for 100, that guy. Yeah.
Oh. He didn't get a wicket, so he got none for 40 in the first innings and none for 60 in the second. I just sat hoping for this guy to get a wicket. He was nowhere near, sadly, but... for all this talk of South Africa Von Berg, he got to go.
Yeah.
For the rest of time, he'll have his little Protea hat, and I think it's a good thing.
Hey, out of the back of that series, and obviously it was under strength, the South African T20 League was an absolute success. Good crowds, good viewership. Was the right call made?
Well, they've got it right for their own system, because they need to create their own revenue streams, because they're not trusting that they're going to get the handouts from the ICC. So I think absolutely South African cricket has made the right call for their own product. But let's be honest, when you're sending a second team, or you could argue a third team, to New Zealand for a test tour, there's a little bit of a warning sign there for test cricket in the game.
Yeah. But I tell you what's going to be interesting. You see that Noor Ahmed got suspended by the ILT20 because he didn't re-sign with them because he wanted to play in the South African T20 comp. He went and signed with the Durban Dolphins or whatever they're called, or one of those teams. So he's been flicked. So there's already been cannibalisation of poaching players, but now they're possibly the first signs that there's going to be sort of infringement notices put on players, or they're going to be banned from certain leagues. So it could implode over time, and Test cricket may well just be that slow-moving sort of machine that always remains so resilient and survives all these different attacks, be it 50-over cricket way back or T20 cricket initially.
Do you know what I think we should do on the pod? And I know we mentioned it on one of our first. How many episodes have we had now?
47.
Series.
Yeah.
We've had a few. I remember talking about the Mexican Premier League that we were going to produce. Maybe what we should do on this pod is produce our, Romania. We could have a league there, Mexico, just to, like the supermarket game when Lidl arrived and Aldi.
Yeah.
Maybe we can be like that, but the T20 leagues.
Yeah.
Just come out and we could sell the franchises for like 20 quid. Give people the opportunity to own a franchise.
Yeah, right.
It's a good idea.
5 overs, T5.
Just create our own league. Yeah, create our own product as well, Ollie. Good thought, yeah.
T8. the
T8.
Von Bergs of the world. Hey, if
Yeah.
you guys were captain of that side, of that New Zealand side, and you finally beat South Africa, and there is it, for the first time, history was made, would you be celebrating, or would you be a bit like, wasn't really the top side?
I guess you'd celebrate a win. A win's a win, but I think they'll know, won't they? They're not. The Kiwis are the most fun. That's why it surprises me. I've talked about the smugness of a little bit of the England comments. Baz McCullum is a Kiwi. The All Black method is humble. Saying nothing, just straight back. So it does surprise me some of the comments. Now the Kiwis will just they'll have a few glasses of their nice grapes, no doubt, from down there. But they'll know they've beaten a side that has not quite got their best players in it.
Maybe that smugness of the English is Stokes, but hang on, no, he's Kiwi as well, isn't he? So is there any English in that team?
Yeah, we got a couple. A couple.
Yeah. Jofra Archer? No. Hey, that wasn't the only Test match taking place. Obviously, the Australian women, they were taking on South Africa in Perth.
Yeah.
Big win, to say the least. They won by an innings and 284 runs. Annabelle Sutherland, 210. I saw quite a bit of this as well. Amazing innings. On the same day that her brother was taking 5 for 51 for Victoria. So that's not bad for their mum and dad to celebrate that. And the other interesting fact, which I'm sure you guys are aware of, was Alyssa Healy joined an interesting club, which is where your highest score is 99 in international cricket. And she became the first husband and wife partnership where both players' highest score is 99. How's that for a stat?
Yeah. Nice.
No way.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Wow, I didn't realise she'd not got 100. Wow.
Yeah.
And there was another feel-good story out of that, wasn't there? The championship was Will Pekowski, first ton in 3 years. Still saying the dream is still alive for Australia. Obviously, he's had some serious concussion issues and other things, and he nearly gave up on the game, but very classy 131 for Victoria, which a lot of
Ollie, I think Will's coming to play county cricket. I think I saw that he'd signed for Leicestershire. So once he comes to England and he plays, I think he'll kickstart his career.
Yeah.
And then that's it. And then he has to thank England.
Yeah.
Well, get him to Scarborough. The Aussies, they did well. Knocked over South Africa for 70 odd on day one, and then were in a little bit of trouble at three for spit. But very solid fight back. They're too good. I reckon there's any number of women in that top 8 that could bat in any one of those positions. They're such an all-round talent. I guess that's the sign of a lot of modern women's cricketers due to T20 being what's really fast-tracked it up. They're all pretty versatile cricketers, but well played. That was excellent.
Ollie,
yes.
Ollie, can I give you some advice just on your date tonight, your first date? Don't mention 3 for and spit, okay?
Okay. I was actually thinking of just reading that poem we did. Do you remember a few months back from Mr.
That was a good one.
Mr. Crow's wife? I might do that one.
Yeah, it's pretty punchy to take a girl on trivia first date, because what if she realised you're stupid?
The only thing I
wouldn't be
realised
doing that.
Well, no, I know the quiz host, so I had the answers sent over. So it's actually a very clever.
Oh, good play.
Thanks.
But obviously, if she's a robot, she'll know all the answers as well. So that doesn't really work. Hey, Ol, have you got an Australia v New Zealand T20 update for us quickly? That is taking place while we are.
167 for 1.
Yeah, of 15.
Rachin Ravindra is.
Oh, wow.
62 off 31, 6 sixes. Ratchin's hit so far, and apparently it must be a tricky deck. Yeah, there at Wellington.
And Conway couldn't get a run against the South African third grade, but he's 62 off 44 at the minute.
Oh, wow.
Good on him.
We'll chase him down. Mitch Marsh at the helm will be fine. Hey,
no Smith.
Oh, okay.
In that lineup.
No,
they line up their best picked 11. I think it might be.
No, surely you don't. Do you put Smith in your top 11 T20 side? Look at what happened when we didn't put him in the last one.
Nah.
In the last World Cup
Unless he
here.
opens.
Yeah, he's not going to open, is he?
No.
I'll tell you what, that looks powerful, though. If you're looking at a lot of the T20 teams now, I think there's some real power in all the teams. The West Indies, obviously England have got a good team. You've got New Zealand who have got a load of power. And then obviously the Aussies, everyone's really like, the days of having a rebuilding kind of player in the middle is gone. You just got to have all the power. And if Smith's going to play for Australia, I think he has to open. And if he's not open, I don't think he plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's getting that middle
There you
order.
go. Heard it here first. All right, go the Aussies. Hey, I've got here that there is a sponsor update, Ollie. Has somebody jumped on board?
Yeah, I won't name in case the contract's not signed in time, but for a couple of shows, the next 2 shows, and it's a real sponsor in the sense, we need. This may not be signed because there are approvals. We have to get the scripting done, but they're a biggie. They're on a fair few sport podcasts all over the world. And it's exciting. I'm excited for a couple episodes. Smash them out the park with some good guests, and they could be on for a while. So good times.
Oh, Ollie, can I just bring to your attention? You just said we've got a real sponsor. So you're saying the sponsors that we've had previously are not real?
Yes, well, they're just I'm interning at all of the ones so far. So that's been, it's been that sort of way about it. Nepotism. This one I've had nothing to do with. They approached us. It was no cold calling.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's just say there hasn't been a lot of invoices paid yet, Vaughany. We are chasing them. We are definitely.
Don't tell Cluj that.
It doesn't matter now because we're now a hat company that tour Europe, European cities.
Yeah. Any update on our collaboration with from the cheap seats and our T-shirt line?
Yes, we have been in touch. They've actually, we're just talking to them, and they've done a little design for You Had Your Moral Victory and the cheap seats. We said we'll get some designs done, but they have designed a first draft for Vaughany, and it basically is just a double B, and it just says Baz-Balled. So they've made you up one. We're gonna have a look at that, but I think that's one. And the one I think you wanted, Gilly, was harder than what was it? A wet dog Tuesday deck in Yorkshire or similar like that was. That on a
we've got to get that in there. I scored 100. I scored 100 on a Tuesday night.
I Heart BB and his Baz-Ball. They've designed up for us.
Yeah, that's good.
I think we need to approach Jim Maxwell to get a Baz-bollocks one. I think with his head and just Baz-bollocks. I think that'd be great. Hey, you should write in, send us at Club Prairie Fire. If you've got an idea for a T-shirt for us, something that we always say on the pod. Maybe I went to Brian Lara's party and survived. That's a good one. Good vision you sent through, Vaughany, that drone shot. That looks like a decent party there.
It was professionally done, but not as professional as we would have liked. We'd have liked that drone to just kind of fly around the house and just snip into the bar and into the kitchen and then into the master suite just to see what's happening. But yeah, marvelous scenes in Trinidad.
Very good. All right, we will get there next year. Hey guys, we're running out of time here.
Yep.
Have you got trivia? Is it a who am I? Is it questions? What do you got for us?
It's trivia. It's wordy. I'm trying something new, so just bear with me, okay, guys? But we're going to try and explain it. And it's confusing because it's higher or lower again. But in cricket, higher or lower is funny because it's higher up the order, but the number goes the other way. So it's a little bit confusing. But we're gonna try it. Okay. The theme this week is records because of England's record defeat. Not India's record win, England's record defeat. So we have that record. I've gone through your records. Okay. So on Crick Info, there's a tab that says records in test matches. And it just lists everything you've done when you're in the top, basically 50 for doing something amazing. Okay. So I'll read the question one and then it will hopefully make more sense. But it's basically records within the all-time lists. So number one, Gilly's 8th wicket partnership of 135 with Brett Lee versus New Zealand in 2001 is the 37th highest 8-wicket partnership ever, again, history of the game. Is that higher or lower than Vaughany's 3rd wicket partnership of 267 in 2001 with Graham Thorpe? So Gilly is 37th in the all-time list. Is Vaughany higher for 3rd wicket or lower?
And
Like
Vaughany's
Brucey
patch was
Forsyth.
what?
This
200
higher, lower.
267,
Higher
third
or
wicket.
lower?
267.
What was Gilly's?
Gilly's was 135 for 8th wicket.
With Binger. Who scored all the runs then, Gilly?
Probably him. He swung
Slogging
like
it?
all flapping in the breeze. Where was it at?
Where was it? Somewhere against New Zealand. That's all I can
And you
Somewhere.
thought,
I like that.
Vaughany, who scored all the
I'm
runs?
going to go me higher.
I reckon there's been 37 higher scores than Vaughany's partnership at the third wicket. So I'm saying mine's higher.
So you're saying you're saying your number is lower because you're higher up the list. Yes. That's what you're saying, Gilly.
Oh, man, this is
I
confusing.
reckon Vaughany's partnership would be lower than 37th, like it's 38th or 9th or
Yeah.
40th.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
and you're saying the same.
I'm
You're
going with the
saying-
same, Ollie. By the way,
Okay,
this
perfect.
quiz is shit.
So so lower means actually number-wise higher. Gilly, you're 37th. Vaughany, you were 38th. You're both correct. It was one off. There were
Yes.
37.
Yes.
So 1 point each.
Yes.
Okay. Now we know the scoring system. We're going to fly through this. Vaughany's 1,481 runs in a calendar year is 11th in the all-time list. Is that higher or lower than Gilly's record for the most runs scored by a wicketkeeper when he got 204 not out? So Vaughany 11th calendar year.
This is very confusing.
I reckon Gilly's in the top 10. So whatever I have to say, higher or low, because it's really confusing me.
I agree.
So you think Gilly's? Let's just go better or worse. Do you think Gilly's better? Let's do that. Gilly.
Better.
Yep.
Better.
Vaughany 11th. Gilly
Better.
8th. That's the 8th highest score by a wicketkeeper. Correct. 2-all. 2-all.
What's
Ding,
the
ding.
highest?
Don't know. Haven't gone that far. Number 3. Gilly hit 8 sixes in an innings, which has him 16th in the all-time list for most Test sixes in an innings. Is that better or worse than Vaughany's 51 tests as captain? So Vaughany 51 tests. Have there been more captains? Have there been more test match captain by players?
Vaughany's higher, like up the list.
Vaughany's better than 16th. Okay.
Yeah.
Vaughany's agrees, or
Yeah.
we're thinking.
No.
You think?
I'm going the other way, whatever I have to say.
Okay,
I say worse.
Worse. Gilly 16th. Vaughany 15th. Gilly's correct.
Yeah.
Vaughany is close.
3-2, Gilly.
2. Next one. Vaughany's 600s in a calendar year has him 6th in the all-time list. Is that better or worse than Gilly's 96 consecutive matches for Australia? So how many basic consecutive games for Australia? Gilly did 96. Do you think there are more or less than 6 who have played that many in a row for their country?
No.
No.
I don't know.
No. So you're both
So is that
saying-
better or worse?
Yeah, we're both agreeing with each other. But
All right. So Vaughany's 6th. Gilly is 8th. There have been 7 ahead of Gilly who have played more than 96 in a row. So still 3-2. Yeah.
That'd be an interesting list.
is that 96 from debut or just 96 consecutive tests?
96, I believe, consecutive. Most consecutive matches for a team, individual. You're 8th. First place is 159 from Cook. Yours were 99 to 2008.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant
Was
straight.
Nathan Lyon was 100 consecutive, wasn't he? Gary?
Yep. And then McCullum, 101. Gavaskar, 106. Mark Waugh, 107. Border,
He
150.
got dropped on, didn't he? He
There
got
you go.
dropped in the Ashes somewhere, 2013, I reckon.
There you go.
I thought they were celebrating that.
100 in a row, Nathan Lyon. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, right.
There you go. 3-2. Last question. God, this is a good one. Gilly is 45th in the list of highest totals without conceding a bye when the mighty England scored 551 for 6 in Adelaide. Well kept. Is 45th higher or lower than Vaughany's 69 innings it took him to reach 3,000 test runs?
Vaughany would be higher up the list. He'd be better.
Okay, you think Vaughany did it better than
No.
45th?
No, I'm going the opposite.
Vaughany's going the opposite.
whatever
Gilly's
whatever the word is.
For us, Gilly's 45th, Vaughany 46th. We have a tiebreaker. It's what everyone wants.
Ding, ding, ding. 3-3.
I hope we will put a bullet in this.
What a barn burner.
Okay, so
Sorry.
when you hit the records tab, if you've done a record which you basically own, it gives you your own page, and you're both on there for the same thing. And we've mentioned this before. It was the fact you've both got 100 and a duck in a test match. Okay, so much so, Vaughany has done it twice. But the weirdest thing for you, the 100 ducks. So the question is, who got the big 100 when they got that 100 in the test match? Vaughany or Gilly? Whose was higher?
I'm going me.
Yeah, Vaughany, for sure.
So with a tiebreaker, you kind of need to do it that they don't pick the same.
It's coming. It was 144.
Good, keep going.
144 for Gilly. Vaughany got 100 on a dot, but then he did 183 in that one. Oh, that was going to be my tiebreaker. What was the score? Right, it's a tie. It's the first ever tie.
You might have heard something pop. That was a cork on my tequila bottle. Carrying that over.
I tried something new.
Hey, Ollie, you got to try these things. You never know. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I was the viewer. So congratulations. I thought it was fantastic. All right, time for the toast. That's all that's left, Gilly. Take us home.
Yeah, look, I'll say well done. Good effort on the quiz there. I'll hopefully it better perform tonight with Maddie from Addy.
Thanks.
Look forward to seeing whether you're going nude nut next week with no cap or whether it's going to take more dates. But hey, a quick cheers, a toast to Virat and Anushka on the arrival of their young boy, RK. Is that his name? Anyway, whatever it is, congratulations. Cheers. Well done.
All right, very good. That was Club Prairie Fire. Just a reminder on all socials, you can find us at Club Prairie Fire. That's with an extra I in the word prairie. That's Twitter, Instagram, X, and make sure you like and subscribe.
Just a bit of Dutch courage for the day. It's the Tabasco. Look, it's there.
Yeah.
Ollie, what aftershave are you wearing for the date, just out of interest?
I'm glad I've actually got a posh one that only comes for special occasions. It's by Replica. It's genuine real. It's like Sex Panther in Anchorman. It's sort of that sort of style. Yeah. I'm excited to give it.
You got to get yourself.
It's that posh, Ollie. I've never even heard of it.
I know it is a good one. I did wonder if maybe I'll let you guys come to dress me to choose my outfit for tonight, but maybe that second date we can go for that.
Oh, that's a good shout. You could walk us into your wardrobe live on the pod.
Yeah, I think
we could pick outfits.
If there's a second date.
I like that.
If there's a second one.
You know, the other one we should do at some point is we put an earpiece in Ollie and we each take it in turns to tell him what to say to her.
Oh, yeah. If you want me to drop in any words,
that's a good one.
Feel free.
We go back to that old original one from one of the early eps about getting salt around the rim.
That's right.
Done.
That's a shirt, Ol. That's a shirt. All right. Thank you, gents. We will see you next week. Same bat channel, same bat time. We'll see you soon.
Australia's fighting back
Cheers,
too.
guys.
Adios. Thanks for watching. I cannot believe you made the end, but glad you did. Chuck us a like and also subscribe so we can get some sponsors.